CCX Sports presents coverage of high school girls basketball. Tonight, a matchup of two top 10 teams in Class 4A, the Wayzata Trojans and the Maple Grove Crimson. From Maple Grove High School, John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox. And Jay, a nice start for both of these teams early in the season. Wayzata gets 2 wins at the Elk River tournament last weekend. Maple Grove, an impressive season-opening win over a state tournament team from a year ago, Minneapolis.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about both of these teams, John, and obviously some good opponents they faced already, as Wayzata beat a good Moorhead team in the championship game of that Elk River tournament. And anytime you beat Minnetonka, that's certainly a good win for your team. They both have a nice mixture of a few returning players, but also a lot of young talent coming into the program that have done well so far.
Wayzata, no seniors at all on their roster. They did lose definitely some good players from a year ago. Cameron Hayes, Sydney Franks, just to name two that are on playing college basketball now. But they do have some very good players, and they're going to be a team to watch, I think, this year in 4A. Ranked number 5 right now in this first week of the polls.
Yeah, they've got some good size up front and some players with size that can play a little bit too. They've got a couple of juniors that are about as good as any duo as you might find too, and Mimi Schrader and Kallie Theisen, so they're definitely a team that has some good strengths going for them. They ended last year disappointed, although they played a great game in that Section 6 championship against Hopkins.
Maple Grove under 500 last year, but I think with the new players they've got coming into varsity ball this year, they're going to be a much improved team and definitely one to watch in the Northwest Suburban Conference this winter.
Yeah, Mark Cook, their head coach, telling us already that he's seeing just a lot of good things so far. A team that really hustles, a team that plays well together, a team that likes to share the basketball. And we've got a couple of freshmen, one starting and one off the bench that'll be big contributors this year, and then some standbys that have kind of gotten better and better through their years in the program too.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Trojans. Kallie Theisen, already in her 3rd year of starting. She is a junior, really a good one.
Yeah, she definitely is one of the top recruits in the junior class in Minnesota. About 6'1". So far, her stats aren't jump out at you that much. 10.5 rebounds a game, 11 points per game just in their first 2. I expect the point total to go up definitely as the season goes along. She's great at getting the ball down low and sealing players on the block, but very mobile too for a big player at her size. Really can do just about anything you'd want out of a post.
And for Maple Grove, a returning starter from a year ago is senior Katrina Theis.
Well, not only do they have similar last names, they both have another similarity, is that they have high motors, great talented players. Katrina's a great athlete, can get out defensively and guard, almost any position on the court. Averaged almost 8 rebounds per game last year and about 13 points for them. She scored 16 in the win over Minnetonka, and just a great all-around performer.
Doesn't mean anything as far as conference standings or section play, but I think it's going to be a fun matchup between these teams.
Well, I think the teams like to face other good teams, and even though they generally have not ever been in the same conference or same section in sports, the school districts do butt up against each other. I think Maple Grove and Wayzata is actually a fairly natural rivalry in a lot of sports, and I think you're seeing that quite a bit in non-conference play in the various sports, and certainly they've been playing regularly in this sport.
We'll tip it off in just a moment. Wayzata Maple Grove high school girls basketball coming up next, live here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox back with you at Maple Grove High School, ready for tip-off tonight. Wayzata and Maple Grove. Wayzata opening the season with wins over Rosemont and Moorhead last Friday and Saturday, and Maple Grove an impressive 63-45 win over Minnetonka here on Tuesday night. Starters being introduced out on the floor for both of these teams, and a good blend of experience and young talent new to varsity basketball. Let's look at our starters for Wayzata. Our forwards, Kallie Theisen, a 6'2 junior, Jenna Johnson, a 6'1 freshman, Annika Stewart, a 6'3 sophomore, and the guards, Jasmine Smiley, a 5'5 sophomore, and Mimi Schrader, a 5'9" junior. For the Maple Grove Crimson, forwards, Katrina Theis, 5'10 senior, Paige Hinsey, a 5'8 senior, and the guards, Mlinar, a 5'11 senior, Abby Schulte, a 5'9" sophomore, and Jordan Lampker, a 5'11" freshman, had an impressive varsity debut Tuesday night, 19 points in the win over Minnetonka. Mike Schumacher in his 9th year as head coach at Wayzata, got them to the section final, very close to the state tournament last year, losing in that 6-4A final to Hopkins, who finished as state runner-up to Elk River last March. And for Maple Grove, Mark Cook is in his 13th year, earned his 200th career win on Tuesday night, the win over Minnetonka.
Mark was trying to be low-key about it. He said he didn't talk to the team about it or anything, but they passed the word on to the PA and let him know, and he said he was here. You know, maybe the best part of it for him was to hear from some of the past players and just congratulating him, and he's really happy with the way this program has moved along. And as you said, John, it looks like it has a chance to be a pretty good season for them. Then tonight, obviously a difficult test. The home court advantages with Maple Grove, but Wayzata has played 2 games where Maple Grove's only had 1, so I think that kind of balances things out.
Wayzata 22-7 a year ago, Maple Grove 13-15. Trojans in white, Crimson in the black. It'll be Theis and Theisen to tip off tonight's game. And the opening possession goes to Maple Grove. Abby Schulte is a sophomore, brings it to the front court. Mlinar with it, back out high. This is Jordan Lampker. Hands off. Paige Hinsey fakes a shot and gives it off. And good ball movement on this opening possession. 3-point ball by Mlinar, not good. And rebounded by Jenna Johnson. Maple Grove or Wayzata into the front court. Mimi Schrader, another veteran starter like Theisen on this Wayzata team. Little turnaround off the block, and it's Annika Stewart, a 6'3 sophomore, moved into the district from Minot, North Dakota in the off-season. Gets the first 2 points tonight for the Trojans.
Well, they've got more than one weapon inside, that's for sure, on this Wayzata team.
Cut off at the block. Lamper's got to come out with the pass. Mlinar driving and gets fouled. And she'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Mlinar gives them a player that can put the ball on the court, and you see her getting a step here around Schrader, and just a little out of position there. Jasmine Smiley trying to stand in and take the charge, and instead it goes on the defensive player.
Mlinar gets Maple Grove on the board. And hits both free throws, and we're tied up at 2. Mlinar last year was one of the top players for this Maple Grove team, as their second leading rebounder and one of their top scorers as well. Schrader passing out. Right wing, Johnson in further, and 2 more for Stewart.
Double team arrived, but it didn't bother her at all. Just kept the ball up high, got it up on the glass. Nice job scoring in traffic there. And Stewart, you can see why she has had a good start and why they like her.
Now Lampker with it. Curls around and double dribble.
I asked Coach Cook, what does Jordan do well? And he said it's more about, what doesn't she do well? He said there'll be, a few freshman growing pains, obviously, and turnovers are something that usually happen to young players a little bit first year on varsity, and that was the case right there.
4 true Trojans. Theisen gets her hands on the ball. She'll drive it to the basket at Theis. Might have got a hand on the ball and followed up underneath, and it's Johnson scoring. And it's 6-2. Trojans.
Really well defended on the initial drive right there, but they didn't block out, and Johnson, good job to get to the offensive glass.
Mlinar missing on the three. Rebound by Stewart. Ahead comes Wayzata. Johnson underneath as they go off the back iron. Jordan can't control the rebound. It's off Lampker, and it's still Wayzata basketball.
Missed opportunity there for Johnson. It was really good footwork to come down with that ball like she did, but then wasn't able to use the glass.
Schrader inbound. We're going to get a foul on Wayzata.
An illegal screen away from the ball there.
It'll be on Kallie Theisen, her first, team second. Schulte into the front court. Theis back to Schulte. Lampker pops out. Elbow shot around the iron, not good. And rebounded by Wayzata by Johnson. Pass ahead to Jazz Smiley. Good outside shooter for the Trojans. Schrader, one dribble, and then off to Stewart. He'll launch it from there, all the mark. Out over the lane, Lampker tying up with Johnson. We'll get a jump ball, possession arrow. We'll give it to Wayzata.
A little slow start for Mark Cook's team offensively here. Just a couple of free throws from Mlinar so far, and now they're trying to clamp down a little bit and limit Wayzata at this end.
Schrader inbound, open, Theisen three, rebounded by Lampker. Mlinar to Hinsey. First touch on the ball, drives, missed the shot, and the ball comes down to Smiley.
Well, and there's that big front court showing up. The help defense got there, made that a pretty difficult shot after a good initial move by Hinsey.
Theis commits a foul inside on Stewart.
They have really made it a mission to go inside to Stewart so far. With pretty good success. She did miss the outside shot, but has got a couple of buckets inside early.
First substitute is Ella Schrader, 6-foot junior. She is in for Theisen. Lob down low to Johnson. Nowhere to go to get it over Theis, and comes back out to Stewart. Her three ball missed and rebounded by Theis. Head to the front court to Mlinar. Lampker off to Hinsey. Lampker open three. Short on the iron. Hinsey rebounds. Trying to whip it into the middle, but that's intercepted by Ella Schrader. Long pass ahead. Smiley. Great assist from Mimi Schrader. Jazz Smiley for the layup.
Sometimes you got to take a little bit of a chance, and she had a nice angle on that ball, dropped it into Smiley, who was ready. When you run the floor, you better be looking up, and she was.
8-2, 4 minutes into the first half. Mlinar. Hinsey up. Can't get it to go, but she'll go to the line for two.
Nice pick and roll there as she did perfect timing on that set. A good solid screen and then rolled down the lane. And get another look at this. Schrader looking up. Smiley. That's how you like it. You don't even need a dribble. If you time it right, she caught it, just laid it in, and that's the type of fast break. Wayzata's not a team that's going to generally go up and down all night long, but when you can get easy buckets like that, it sure makes your night a lot easier.
Theisen back in. Also Lydia Hay, 6-foot sophomore. Younger sister Cameron Hay, who played here last year, into the lineup. So Hinsey missing on the first one, but connects on the second for her first point. Still just free throws so far for Maple Grove.
Paige and her younger sister Allie will on the Crimson team, who had good seasons with the volleyball team. One of the better years that the Crimson have had in that sport.
Theisen, nice little move to get free down low, missed the shot, rebounded by Ella Schrader. Back out. Hay with the shot up and in. And the sophomore knocks down a bucket in her opening moments off the bench.
Wayzata is going to be a team that's tough to keep off the boards, I think, for a lot of teams all year long. Maple Grove's got to find a way to secure those defensive rebounds.
Whistle and traveling. Whistled against Paige Hinsey.
Again, Maple Grove pretty. Here's the jumper knocked down there by Hay as she was ready for it after they'd been able to get that ball back.
Wayzata leads. Jazz Smiley for three. Not good. Ball out of bounds. That's touched by Wayzata, or by Maple Grove rather, off the hand of Becca Tyler.
Had inside position that time, but not able to secure it.
Smiley, bounce pass inside. We're going to get a foul on Tyler as she bumped Schrader trying to get to the ball there.
Well, they were getting close to that 5-second count. Wayzata maybe got bailed out a little bit by getting a foul call there, although it was a good strong cut that led to that foul.
Hay traveled, wanted to go with the pass, hesitated, then took an extra step.
Solid job defensively there by Maple Grove.
Schulte. Jordan Lampker with it. She'll drive, and the runner won't go. Rebounded by Theisen. Hands it off to Smiley, looking up court. Ella Schrader getting it in for Theisen. Nice knock away by Theis from behind. Schulte's got it on a break and lays it and is fouled.
Well, Maple Grove needed that, their first bucket, and they get it after the steal defensively and pushed it up court nicely. They've had some decent looks earlier, but just haven't been able to get anything to fall. So sometimes getting out in transitions, your key to getting it done. And Hay trying to just bother the shot and cut across in front of her. Didn't look like a ton of contact, but enough to draw the foul. And Schulte will try and complete the three-point play.
Big points for Maple Grove, make it 10-6. Mimi Schrader is back in for Wayzata. Also Annika Stewart back in.
They went inside to Stewart early a couple times, got a couple hoops. She took some outside shots, and I think, I'm assuming she can make those if she's taking them. She didn't make them this time, but I still think Maple Grove would be much happier if she was out on the three-point line than inside like this.
Lauren Moline in for Maple Grove, also at that last whistle. Ball knocked out of bounds. We'll stay with Wayzata. Amy Schrader into Theisen, and back to Schrader. I think it's nice for Mike Schumacher. He's got somebody in Mimi Schrader, can always kind of settle things down. Not that they're out of whack or anything right now, but just to have that veteran leader on the floor at any time this season that he can go to and get things squared away offensively.
Yeah, really her fourth year as a regular, even though she's just a junior right now.
Theisen gets blocked by Theis. They'll start it back the other way for the Crimson. Theis will take it strong to the basket. Too strong with the shot, rebounded by Stewart.
I think she was looking to draw a foul there and didn't quite get it.
That one went to Mimi Schrader, now to Stewart. Hay with it. Hands off to Theisen and back out to Mimi Schrader. On the block, little one-hand turnaround shot there, missed by Ella Schrader. Theisen with the rebound, but she can't do anything with there.
Like a lane violation there. Here's another look. Katrina Theis timing that one perfectly. Theisen went to the left hand and got her hand on top of the ball. And good no call there, too. A lot of times it seems they're eager to whistle things down, and definitely a good clean block.
Played 7 minutes here in the first half. 4-point Wayzata lead.
We'll switch up in defenses now for Coach Schumacher. So they've gone to, it looks like a 1-2-2. or maybe it's just a 2-3 zone here, but Maple Grove whipping it around the perimeter quick, trying to get him stretched out.
Schulte's shot won't go, out of bounds off Hay. Let's took a ball or a hand off her face or what? Right to her mouth right after that play. She'll come out.
I think it was her nose that got banged a little bit there. Interesting, Wayzata's played pretty good D early on, but switching things up a little bit there just to give them a different look. They have been, beaten on penetration a few times, but it never really hurt them. Now we get a foul call against the Trojans.
The second foul on Smiley. Fairly early here in the game, already the 15th foul on the Trojans. Smiley's going to have to come out here. And Grace Robertson, a 5'8" junior, into the lineup.
Still in that 2-3 zone here, Wayzata.
Tyler off the glass. Good look at it. Couldn't get it to go. Tyisen rebounds.
I like the way they attacked the zone that time. They got the shot that they wanted, but just haven't been able to make many of them so far.
And Wayzata over and back.
Trojans have slowed down a little bit too. They were, looking pretty efficient offensively in the first few minutes, but not quite so much lately. Mike Schumacher saying that maybe did you anticipate that Jenna wasn't quite into the backcourt and you already blew it down.
Theis to Tyler, back out. There's Lamker. That's up and in. Freshman with their first basket tonight. That's 10-8. Theisen still hasn't scored. Rebound pulled down by the Crimson. Lamker to Moline. Back to Lamker. Moline, Lamker, left side, into Tyler, and then reaching in and committing the foul is Mimi Schrader.
Tyler's flashed in there, found a pretty good spot in the zone to catch that ball. Schrader thought she saw a chance to rake it free and instead got a little arm. Looks like Mike might be going back to man-to-man here.
The Jay were not quite halfway through the first half, and Maple Grove will be in the bonus the rest of the way here in this first half.
Yeah, and I think switching to the zone might be part of the reason. They've gotten beat, again, they haven't really been giving up a lot of makes, but they've been getting beat a little bit on penetration.
Pull up three, Will short by Schrader, out of bounds. It's over to Maple Grove.
And Mimi, she could tell right away and wasn't too happy with herself on that one.
Schulte and Paige Hinsey back in from Maple Grove.
Maple Grove's really overcome that slow start. They're back to within 2 and just kind of trying to play their game. That's the good part about it, is if you start slow but your defense is solid, you're going to stick in the game like they have.
Mlinar's open on the baseline, short, and rebounded by Johnson. Stewart, 3. Shot a couple of those, hadn't hit, but that time connects, and has 7 points now.
I was going to say, if she had the green light that much, it must mean that the shot she generally is pretty good at.
Theis puts it up and gets fouled.
A good looking form. Get your feet squared up, knocks it down. And that's number 2 on Theisen. So they, you wouldn't call it major foul trouble for the Trojans, but a couple of their key players have picked up a couple already.
Katrina Theis with her first point tonight. Theisen will come out for Wayzata. Smiley and Ella Schrader back in. And Schrader, Theis knocks down both free throws, so now a 13-10 game. goes in on a nice entry pass into Johnson from Stewart. And the freshman knocks it down.
Defender coming from the baseline, gambled for the steal and didn't quite get it.
Theis will take it up strong. He gets fouled by Ella Schrader, and Theis will go right back to the free throw line for 2. That's 2 fouls on Ella Schrader.
Yeah, Maple Grove, we said, haven't necessarily been making all their shots, but they've been aggressive, driving the ball to the hoop. And Wayzata, you know, obviously having a pretty big lineup can help you in some ways, but it also can make it a little bit tough to guard people who can really attack off the dribble like that. And Theis has been doing a good job, as of a couple of her teammates, of being aggressive and getting into the lane and getting to the free throw line.
And if you can make the foul shots, Jay, all the better. And they are 8 out of 9 early going.
And that's the kind of thing, too, that also has long-term benefits. If you're having to see some of Wayzata's better players sit, like Theisen is right now, because of foul trouble, it's something that, you know, game long benefits you as well.
Ella Schrader misses a 3. Mimi Schrader picks it up, launches from the corner, and hits.
Well, just like you practice it, right? Pick the ball up off the floor, calmly turn and nail it.
There's first points tonight, lead to 6 for Wayzata. Bounce pass, trying to get it to Mlinar with Lampker, but missed on the pass and out of bounds over to Wayzata.
Another look at this one as the ball missing badly on the first one. She just turns and lets it rip.
It was like the clock was running down. Her thumb just fires it up, but when you make it, it's all right.
Mark Cook, the opposing coach, paid Mimi Schrader one of the ultimate compliments tonight before the game. He said, "You just can't rattle her. She's seen it all, and you know, it's almost pointless to try to really rattle her."
Johnson drives baseline. We get a whistle on the drive and a foul on Maple Grove.
Wayzata hasn't been able to drive the ball quite as strongly as Maple Grove in this game, and there's a good example of it there. Sometimes, you know, it didn't look like there was a lot there or a lot of room there, but you be aggressive, get your shoulders, you know, ahead of the defender a little bit and drive it hard. And sometimes you'll get the foul that way too, and that one just adds to the total a little bit.
Just a third team foul, first on Lampker. Nice little shot by Jenna Johnson. She's got 6 points.
Nice strong cut there on the inbound play, and then good touch around the rim, and Wayzata picking it back up a little bit offensively of late here.
Paige Hinsey in the corner. Theis 30 feet away from the bucket. The dribble going, starting to her right, gives it to Hinsey. Aside Lampker. Drive by Hinsey. The underside of the basket. Mlinar rebounds, turns and scores.
In some ways that was similar to what Schrader did, only not as far out.
And Wayzata answers right back.
Lydia Hay getting the layup as they pushed it quickly.
The 8-point lead restored. Mlinar from Lampker. Back-to-back buckets.
Mlinar, a capable scorer, and she's heating up.
Johnson finds Schrader cutting, and Schrader gets fouled.
That time Maple Grove got back a lot better, and they cut off Johnson's lane to the hoop. I think it's a good play by Johnson to not force that. Sometimes you think, well, I've caught it so close to the hoop, I better shoot anyway. But she clearly wasn't in a great position at that point and waited for help.
Smalley, hands off, Mimi Schrader. Hay open for a 3. Long rebound, pulled down by Lampker. Mimi Schrader behind her, didn't see her, couldn't hear her teammates yelling. Schrader got it, and then she gets fouled by Schulte.
Schrader pouncing there as Lampker, you see it. From up here, it's easy to see it coming, not so much. And Wayzata got pretty physical there. It could have possibly been a foul on that steal, and then a big collision as Schrader tried to go with the Euro step around the defender there.
First free throw attempt of the night for Wayzata, and Schrader knocks it down. One more coming. Junior has that one roll out, and rebound secured by Maple Grove. Mlinar handed off to Lampker. Hinsey. Nice move to the basket and scores. Looked at the rim for a three and then just drove right past her defender.
Well, that was a deceptive move, and she did a nice job of keeping that dribble going too, and really fooled everyone. I'm sure Coach Schumacher not that thrilled that they're able to just drive it right down the lane that easily.
Mimi Schrader, another three ball. This one off. Mlinar rebounds for the Crimson.
Might have been a little bit of a force there from Mimi. Not that that's not a shot she can make, but it wasn't really a wide open look or anything like that.
Hinsey skips pass across. Mlinar on two is good.
She is heating up, and they are looking for her.
Averaged over 12 points per game last year. Turnover here for Wayzata. Look at the last couple of baskets.
Hinsey just splitting between the defenders. I think there was just a little bit of lack of communication. Each thought the other was going to stick with her, and then that jumper by Mlinar right there. And boy, did they call that a three? Because I'm not so sure it was. And seeing it again, I thought so the first time, but it looked like she might have been on the line.
I think they called it a two.
Was it a two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she was a good three-point shooter last year, a 43% three-point shooter for Maple Grove. Look at it again. I am quite certain the official said two.
Yeah,
right
I just assumed initially she's, yeah, her right foot's definitely on the line there.
Mike Schumacher taking time out here for Wayzata. 4:46 remaining in the first half. Good game, Jay, to start our coverage of high school girls basketball in the area.
Yeah, been a lot of solid play so far. Wayzata kind of taken the lead to start it out, and then Crimson caught up, and then Wayzata surged ahead again by, I think it was 8. But the one thing that's, you know, certainly in the minus column for Wayzata so far is a little bit of foul trouble. They've been having the ball driven at them a little bit, and that's something that they're going to need to work on. And Maple Grove has given up a few, entry passes inside that they want to shore up a little bit, and also making sure that they can secure some defensive rebounds.
Trojans have trailed, or the Crimson rather, have trailed throughout. They're down by 3 now, have been down by as many as 8. Tyler's shot comes up short and rebounded by Johnson. Back come the Trojans. Mimi Schrader. Drive it, will kick it out. Hay, three-point try. Not good. Rebound. Got a contact there, and Hinsey finally rips it away. And too far on the pass to Mlinar, and Hay winds up with it. Back to Mimi Schrader. Johnson. Open is Wayzata's Hay, gets it out to Mimi Schrader. Missed on the shot and rebounded by Tyler.
A little off balance there, and pretty good defense too by Tyler. I thought stayed squared up in front of her.
Mlinar rattles another one in.
The ball's going to go up when she gets it here lately. She's really feeling it right now, and you can see just a quick, confident release. And I'm sure at some point in the huddle for Wayzata, who's got 3 is going to be one of the things that they're saying to their players.
She got back quickly on defense there, and broke up that pass intended for Grace Robertson.
Mlinar, you might think, why are you taking out the hot hand? But you could tell she was pretty gassed. She's been working hard, running the floor.
Hay, pull up in the lane. Comes up short. Schulte rebounds. Abby Schulte, she's just a sophomore.
Chance for the Crimson to lead it here now, too.
Trailing by 1. Theis with it. 4 free throws for the senior so far today. Whistle, and we get a foul on Wayzata.
Trying to deny that entry pass. Theis getting a nice wide base to, get the position there, and they had to kind of come through her to get to the ball.
First foul on Janet Johnson, 19th foul, and a 1-and-1 here for Theis. Yeah, that one ties it up. Theis had 16 points Tuesday against Minnetonka. Sam Carroll, 5'8" junior, number 33, into the lineup now, replacing Hinsey. And Maple Grove is in the lead for the first time at 24-23 with just over 3 minutes to play in the first half.
A lot of different ways to score, and Theis all of her points from the line so far.
Schrader from 16, that won't go. Rebounded by Theis, and she gets fouled as well.
Good quickness to the ball right there. And game's being called pretty tight right now too, and I think Wayzata is, you know, kind of, you have to feel out a little bit, you know, do we back off a little bit on some things? And so right away back to the other end for free throws. Schrader, you can tell she's trying to get heated up there, and you know, their offense that time, not a lot of passes before the shot went up. They weren't able to get Maple Grove out of position or stretched out any defensively before she took that shot.
Maple Grove's in the double bonus now. Paige Hinsey had a brief rest, and now she's back in replacing Tyler. Katrina Theis, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. 3-point Crimson lead. Under 3 minutes to play in the half. With pressure out high and a little too much pressure put on by Sam Carroll. She's called for a push.
Boy, and they had the dribble picked up there too. Maple Grove kind of turning up the screws defensively, and also Wayzata, they've had to make so many substitutions. It feels like it's, you know, kind of hurt their rhythm offensively because they've had to take players out after fouls.
Hinsey got her hands on the ball, but had a foot out of bounds, so couldn't quite get the steal. That was the 16th foul for the Crimson, so Wayzata now in the bonus. Smiley and Elizabeth Page, who was in for a few moments, she now comes out. Inbound to Schrader. Back out here, Stewart. Big bucket needed for Wayzata, and Stewart now with 9 points.
Boy, and Schrader does such a nice job of penetrating and drawing a defender to her, and then just making that good, solid chest pass. It wasn't spectacular. It was just the right play at the right time.
Entry pass shot missed by Theis, but good rebound, and they kick it back out. Schulte misses on the 3 ball, and Stewart has it, trying to rip it through, and you get a jump ball call. Good held balls. Theis got her hand on top of the basketball and forces the jump, and it actually goes as a turnover, and the alternate possession is back to Maple Grove.
I was at Wayzata's practice the other day for a story on CCX, and they were working on exactly that. Secure that rebound and rip it through. You can't bring it down and let a defender reach in and tie you up like that.
Theis. A foul on Maple Grove.
Illegal screen called there against Carroll. And a lot of times coaches will say, as often as not, that that's the dribbler's fault for not waiting long enough for that screen to really get set up. So they call it on Carroll. And Maple Grove had the advantage in the fouls for a while. Now it's starting to even up a little bit more.
Stewart, long 3, comes out. Came right to Schrader, Ella Schrader, but she missed.
Nice block out that time too by Carroll on the second opportunity there.
3 ball, that won't go for Lauren Moline. Hinsey rebounds, back out. We're back to Theis, right corner now. Theis will drive it. Tough shot up and in, 1-on-2, and able to connect.
Boy, that's a power move down the baseline and a nice finish off the glass.
Lob goes in, and 2 points for Stewart. Drew a lot of traffic, but powered that up. Give the assist to Ella Schrader. Down to a minute to play here in the first half. So going back and forth now. Crimson lead it by 1. Intended for Hinsey, and Ella Schrader gets a hand in and knocks it away. Mimi Schrader with the basketball. She'll pull up long two, not good. Theis has a hand on it and gets it to Carroll, and then will be brought up by Schulte to the front court. Cross, Hinsey, open three, not good. Ball tipped around and back up in Theis's hands. She misses the bunny, and it's Ella Schrader rebounding. Wayzata, 25 seconds to go. Down low, Stewart missed in close. Schulte back for Maple Grove. Down to 15 seconds to play in the half. Driving Moline, and she is fouled, and will go to the line for two. So the senior will get a chance to score her first points of the night. Fouls whistled against Ella Schrader. That's her third. And Moline to the line here for two. First one rattles in. Moline had 3 points in the season opener Tuesday. Second one, not good. We have a lane violation. It looks like it. Sophia Corman, a freshman in. They don't want Theis to pick up a foul at the last second here. Second free throw also missed. Corman got the rebound, though. They're going to have to hurry. Schulte with a three, and it comes off as the first half comes to an end. A nice rally by Maple Grove. They trailed for much of the first half. They got some good possessions. More importantly, some good stops on defense to pull ahead and go up 29-27 here on Wayzata as we go to halftime. So a good half of basketball, two top 10 teams. Number 10, Wayzata. Number 5, Maple Grove. Or the other way around, excuse me. Number 5, Wayzata. Number 10, Maple Grove. And it's going to be a lot of good basketball up here in the Northwest Suburbs again this year. Hopkins, last year's state runner-up in 4A. They're ranked number 1. We'll get the rankings later here at halftime. Jay Wilcox is talking to each of the head coaches at the half. Mark Cook will be out before the start of the second half. He is standing by right now, though, with Wayzata head coach Mike Schumacher. Jay?
Thanks very much, John. With Coach Schumacher, a good start for your team. Some foul trouble eventually, but what were your thoughts overall in that first half?
About what it looked like. Some good, some bad. We got a little bit of foul trouble. At times we used our length and pounded inside with effect, and other times we were a little careless, so we got to brush some things up for the second half.
You guys switched to a zone for a little bit of time there. Might we see more of that, or what's been the key for them penetrating against you that you have to change around?
Well, we'll just kind of have to see how the second half flows. We'll probably mix it up a little bit. Man was effective at times, zone was effective at times. If we stayed in things too long, then they kind of found the rhythm, and that's when we gave up some shots.
Mike, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Mike Schumacher, the head coach for the Wayzata Trojans. His team trailing it by a couple here at halftime against Maple Grove as the youth basketball players take center stage here. We'll be back with more basketball here from Maple Grove High School in just a moment.
heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
We got some youth girls basketball players from the Osseo Maple Grove Basketball Association, Jay, enjoying a little court time here at halftime. It was a nice try.
Always a thrill for them to get out here. Probably some of the current varsity players did this back in the day, I'm guessing.
29-27. Maple Grove leading Wayzata at halftime. Let's look at some highlights from the opening half of play. And it was Wayzata the better team definitely early, Jay, getting some runouts and basket there, but more just good baskets in the half court and being able to convert and score.
Yeah, they were a lot more in sync early, hitting some nice shots inside, but then also getting set up on the outside. Stewart showing an ability to do both for them. And as the half went on, this was kind of an interesting one. Schrader picked up the loose ball and turned and buried it. But as the half went on, they found the open shots tougher to get.
And for Maple Grove, getting an offensive rebound there and really heating up the last half of that second half was Autumn Mlinar. She had that basket, and then that one. Those were in back-to-back possessions for the Crimson. Another look at the long Mlinar two there as she was able to put in 10 points here in the first half.
And getting to the line was a key for them as well. That was Theis's only basket, but he had 8 free throws as well.
There's like the leading scorers. Stewart with 11 points for Wayzata. 5 baskets, one of them a free. Jenna Johnson is 6 points. Schrader, that's Mimi Schrader, along with Lydia Hay with 4 points apiece. It's Autumn Mlinar and Katrina Theis are 2 top players from a year ago who are back, each with 10 points leading the way. And then 3 points each for Schulte and Paige Hinsey. 2-point lead for the Crimson in the first half. So for you, Jay, as you look at these teams, what does each team need to do to secure a win here tonight?
Well, I think Wayzata's definitely got to limit the fouls in the second half. Yeah, I thought in general they made Maple Grove take tough shots early on, but just too many times where they were out of position and ended up fouling, and they need to get back to pounding the ball inside a little bit better, like Coach Schumacher said at halftime too. And for Maple Grove, I think they've kind of found their groove a little bit now. Obviously, it'd be nice for them if Mlinar stays as hot as she is. You don't necessarily count on that, but I think they've picked up things defensively. They need to pressure the ball and make those entry passes be tougher. And it's not just the player guarding the post, but it's the players out on the wings that are getting up, getting hands in the way, just kind of making things a little bit less comfortable for Wayzata, which they were able to do as the half went on. Offensively, I think they've done a lot of the right things. They haven't maybe made some shots that they might normally make, but I don't think they necessarily have to change anything too drastically on the offensive end.
We talked about these teams both being ranked in the top 10. Here's a look at the Class 4A rankings as of this week. There's a preseason poll and then a second poll that came out after the opening games this week in 4A. Hopkins, as you would expect, with most of that team back last year, was undefeated going into the state championship game against Elk River. They're ranked number 1. Had a big win the other night against Becker. Eastview is number 2. Those teams seem to be perennially near the top at the end of the year in girls basketball. Lakeville North is number 3. Centennial got a strong program year in and year out. They're number 4. Then Wayzata at 5. Cretin-Gareham Hall ranked 6. Forest Lake 7. St. Michael Albertville building program. They are ranked 8th. Park Center, they're playing their season opener tonight at Eden Prairie. They're ranked 9th. And then Maple Grove, as we mentioned, coming in at number 10. Class 2A has one local team, and then Maranatha moved up from Class 1A this year, Jay. They've been in this 1A tournament several times. Now they're a 2A team. They're ranked number 8 preseason. Sauk Center, the number 1 team, and the Mustangs coming in at number 8. We'll take a quick break. Jay will be back. He's going to talk with Mark Cook as the young ladies from Osseo Maple Grove Girls Basketball Association get high fives from the players and the coaches from the Maple Grove team. We'll take a break. Jay will be back with Mark Cook. More coverage of high school girls basketball next on CCX.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
And we're back at Maple Grove. Let's go back to the sideline. Jay Wilcox with Mark Cook.
With Crimson head coach Mark Cook, and a little bit of a slow start for your team, but you really got back in and went ahead. What did you like about the second part of that half?
Well, I mean, I liked our resolve. I like how we fought through it. We fought through that slow start. The shots weren't going in, and we just kept digging. Thought we did some good things on the defensive end, and we were able to get back in it. Yeah,
they've obviously got good size up front, and you were able to limit them a little bit more as the half went on. Is it going to be more of the same in terms of what you hope to do there?
We're going to try. They're tough. They're big across the board. So that 30 she's a nice player. So we're going to just keep working, try to get around, and try to have great backside help.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Mark Cook, the head coach for Maple Grove. His team ahead by 2 as we get started with half number 2.
Thanks very much, Jay, and thanks to both coaches for taking a few moments with us at halftime to break this first half down. We'll look ahead to the second half. Opening possession for Wayzata to start the second half. Mimi Schrader missing. Mlinar rebounds. Lamker with the ball in the front court for the Crimson on their opening possession of half 2. Mlinar 3 won't go, and Smiley corrals the rebound for the Trojans. Mimi Schrader into the front court to Johnson. Trying to get it to Theisen. Loose ball secured by Maple Grove. Paige Hinsey will slow it down now. Gets it to Schulte and to Lamker. Ball goes in to Theis, able to turn and score. A dozen points now for the senior.
She's very strong inside, but it also shows again the good strong cut to receive that ball. You don't want to kind of just tiptoe through there. You go hard after it.
Theisen missing on the 3. I'm guessing she hasn't had a lot of halves where she's gone scoreless, but she did here in the first half, of course, sitting for a long time with those 2 fouls. Wayzata gets the ball back, going quickly ahead in transition, and Stewart finishes for the first point for Wayzata here in the second half.
Well, as Mark Cook just said, that number 30 is tough. I think we're seeing it right there. And you're right, Theisen just hasn't had things go her way so far. They have to just count on the fact that she'll be able to get it going eventually.
Mimi Schrader, active hands, able to take it away from Mlinar out top. Nice little pass, and fouled from behind by Stewart was Theis. And Annika Stewart will go to the line for the first time tonight.
Boy, that was a nice pass by Schrader as she just flicks it under with the left hand. And Mlinar got her on the head. And Mlinar was surprised that there was a foul call. And I'm going to tell you, I might have to agree with her just because of the fact that Stewart didn't react. When she saw the referee touching his head, she didn't act like she had been hit on the head either. So sometimes it looks like it, if depending on your angle.
Second free throw comes out and out of bounds. What does our colleague Ryan Iverson always say? Ball doesn't lie. The referee misses the call. He missed the free throws once, and then that's what happens.
Johnson did a good job of, getting around the inside player there, but just couldn't quite squeeze that rebound.
Crimson by 2, the margin they had at halftime. Schrader with her second steal already here in the second half. Nice fake, and then goes to the basket, missed the shot, and Theis grabs up the loose ball. Theis will take it strong to the whole basket, and one. Foul on Smiley.
You get in Katrina Theis's way at your own risk there. She was going to go to that hoop, no matter who was in her way here. As you see, she just shrugged off Schrader, and then Smiley trying to draw the charge, and a big smile for Theis. Nice job of finishing. So many players, when you get contact, they lose their concentration a little bit, or it gets hard to finish. And is showing great strength first and foremost there, but also good concentration.
All Northwest Suburban Conference player a year ago, has 15 points now. And it's the biggest lead of the night for the Crimson at 5 points. Theisen puts it on the floor, gives it off to Mimi Schrader. Cut off nicely by Schulte. Frees herself up for a jumper, missed it through the hands of Theisen, and we get a foul inside Maple Grove, and Wayzata will keep possession.
Looks like Wayzata's, looking to become a little more aggressive here. They at times played, somewhat passively offensively later in the half, it felt like, and not kind of, trying to let us be the aggressor and not let them be the aggressors defensively.
Fouls on Lampker, that's her third. Smiley with the basketball. Stewart into Theisen, trying to back down. Theis can't get the three-point play, but she will go to the line, and Katrina Theis will pick up her second foul.
She is a great post-up player and has good footwork going either way with the basketball right there, and kind of split between a couple defenders. And sometimes you can use free throws to get yourself started, although not able to get that one.
Does get her first point of the night there with 15 minutes and 22 seconds to play, and then gets a steal at the other end. Amy Schrader getting it back. Theisen drives in. We'll go back to the line for 2 more.
Even though she's had a tough night so far, they want to still keep going to her, and Maple Grove knows she's dangerous there. They really try to converge on her here, but you see just splitting through defenders again.
First free throw here is up and in for the junior.
Well, it looks like they got the message from Coach Schumacher. We need to, whether it's always going to be easy or not, we need to try and pound the ball inside some, and they're taking advantage of that early in the second. And now a little 1-3-1 it looks like from Wayzata.
34-32. Almost another steal for Schrader. Down low, Hinsey then gets fouled, and she'll go to the line as Johnson, after too late to stop the shot attempt.
Probably a pretty good foul in that spot, though, or it was going to be an easy layup. They thought they had the turnover and to get out and running there, and so Wayzata got caught a little bit up court when Maple Grove retained possession there, and you see the obvious foul call taken there as Hinsey took it up strong inside. Hinsey's kind of a valuable player for them. Just can do a few things. Good screener, can get you some rebounds, and obviously showed an ability to drive the ball a little bit in that first half too.
Second free throw is good. Basket and 3 free throws now for the senior. Stewart lost it. Trying to shovel the pass back out, but right into the hands of Theis. Schrader gets a hand back and forces a turnover there. They had the numbers, Maple Grove did, but Mimi Schrader gets a hand in, breaks it up. Now Johnson for a 3, not good. Long rebound, and Paige Hinsey comes out of there with the basketball.
Pretty big sequence there. If Wayzata had hit that one, they'd be back within 1, and Maple Grove, kind of getting away with a turnover that didn't end up costing them ultimately.
Lauren Moline. Schulte to the corner to Theis. Double team on Theis, and a timeout by Mark Cook.
Yeah, he saw his player was in trouble there and needed to discuss a few things anyway, so getting that timeout. Interesting start here to the second half as Maple Grove now has built the lead to 4. They did trail for a pretty good chunk of that first half until coming up late and getting a 2-point lead.
Still a lot of basketball here yet to go. We've got another high school basketball game for you Friday night on CCX, non-conference game 12. Armstrong Falcons, another Northwest Suburban Conference team, will host the Simley Spartans, a 7 o'clock tip-off at Armstrong High School. You can watch it live on CCX. Inbound, Mlinar to Hinsey. Lean, they work the perimeter. Schulte, Mlinar will turn around, won't go. Rebounded by Stewart. And Mimi Schrader will push it up for Wayzata. Schulte gets a hand in there and knocks it out of bounds.
Good read there defensively. I thought they might try and get Mlinar a shot out of the inbounds play, and that's what happened. So far early in the second, she wasn't quite been able to pick up where she left off late in the first.
Ball out high. Now comes into Theisen. Mimi Schrader open on the wing. Goes to the free throw line and hits that one.
Nice job kicking that ball back out. It doesn't have to be a shot attempt every time you go to the post. You can create things out of that for your other teammates too. And obviously Theisen and Schrader trust each other to make the right plays there.
36-34 Crimson. Mlinar driving hard to the basket and draws the foul.
Those are the kind that are frustrating as a defender because you feel like you've done everything right to make her take a tough shot, but ends up a little bit of body contact down low, I think, kind of hip against hip there, and Mlinar makes the free throw. Got an interesting free throw where she doesn't really mess around much. She just gets it and immediately puts that shot up, and obviously it's working for her.
18 out of 20. That's Maple Grove from the free throw line tonight.
Boy, if you talk about keys to this game so far, that's probably would be number 1 on the list.
Now last foul's on Jenna Johnson, her third. Here on the offensive end, Johnson missing one in tight. Smiley gets it. They keep it alive. Theisen traveled. No, got pushed by Theis. She dragged a foot there, Jay.
Yeah, I would have to agree here at first glance. Yeah, Theis in disbelief there. She thought, even if it wasn't a travel, she thought she had played pretty good defense and not fouled there.
That's her third foul. 5 team fouls already here on Maple Grove early. Theisen takes this one strong to the hole and scores. First field goal tonight for the junior. She's got 5 points here in the second half.
Definitely showing more of her ability here early in the second half than she was able to do in the first.
Schulte over to Carroll. Back to Schulte. Theis bounce pass in to Hinsey, working against the smaller Smiley, who got a hand in there, and Wayzata ends up with a turnover. Schrader slicing a pass to Theisen, up and in for 2 more.
Boy, a tale of 2 halves for Kallie. She really struggled in the first and now has been the go-to player early in the second.
In those last 2 possessions, Jay, taking it right at Theis, noting Theis is going to have to be a little less aggressive now with 3 fouls.
With a foul down low as Mlinar was posting up. Another look here at Theisen switching back to the left hand, and her teammates are happy to see that as they're pumped up.
Wayzata foul and Mimi Schrader her second. 4th team foul on the Trojans. Hinsey inbounding. Mlinar, 3 from the corner, not good. Rebounded though by Carroll. Lampker will try a 3. That's off the iron. Oh, and a great hustle play by Mlinar. Schrader is waiting for it to go out of bounds, kind of guarded the other Crimson player. Mlinar comes and plays it off of Schrader.
Great hustle to get to that one. And you can see it when you're that close to the sideline, you can kind of see why maybe Schrader wouldn't try to grab it, because her momentum might have carried her out of bounds, but great hustle and great smart play to not try and grab it, but to just tip it off of the Wayzata player.
Mlinar, great interior pass to Lampker, but the Crimson can't finish. Here come the Trojans. Schrader pull up from 13 for the lead, not good. Rebound underneath, Theisen, and one.
She has really come out strong here in this second half, attacking the glass that time, coming up with the rebound, and Wayzata will go back in front. See her go up strong for that ball, got hit in the face a little bit, didn't let it bother her, and finished. And I think a pretty good call to count this basket. At first I was wondering, was this in the act of the rebound or more into the shot, and I think it was the right call in seeing it again. So definitely some spark and fire in the second half for Wayzata coming out. In particular, Kallie Theisen played. That's part of basketball. You're going to have some halves where everything doesn't go your way, and you just keep working, doing the things that you know how to do, and keep attacking, be aggressive, and that's what she's been able to do here in this second half.
Yeah, 9 points you see. That'll all come in 6.5 minutes of play here in the second half, but she'll go to the line to try to make it a 3-point play. That last foul was on Paige Hinsey. Her first, team's 6th. So Wayzata will be in the bonus the rest of the way. The last timeout taken by Wayzata. They have 3 timeouts remaining. Maple Grove 4. And Theisen does indeed get the 3-point play. 10 points now for her. And Wayzata up by 3. They have come back nicely, strong here in the second half. Lampker, shot fake and gives it up on the pass. Hinsey cutting is Tyler off the iron, not good, and ripped away from Theisen. A good job by Mlinar to keep it alive. Lampker will lean now on driving. Mlinar to the basket, can't get it to go, and rebounded by Johnson. Schrader will drive baseline. Off for Theisen, trying to take it strong to the basket. And another foul on Maple Grove. More free throws for Kallie Theisen.
Theisen creating things right there, and a lot of times when you look confident and aggressive with the ball, you're more likely to get that call there too. She just attacked straight at the hoop after they kind of interchanged with Schrader giving it up to her there, and she's kind of making a living at the line here in the second half already.
Makes another. That's 6 free throws and 3 baskets for Theisen in the second half. 5-point Wayzata lead. Mlinar's in trouble, gets it off to Hinsey. Now hands off to Lampker.
You see Wayzata dropping into a little bit of a tighter shell defensively. They're trying to limit fouls and not get themselves spread out. Just have a lot of help defense.
Lampker. Tyler drives, her runner around, not good. And rebounded by Stewart. And Stewart, jump ball, she got tied up by Carroll. Possession arrow pointing Maple Grove's way, so look at the ball back. Carroll out and Schulte back in for the Crimson.
Maple Grove's got to have good possession, just set some good screens, move the ball, and get some open looks. And they showed that they were able to do that later in the first half.
Hinsey, nice move, and one, able to get the move inside of the taller Stewart and gets herself free for a basket.
Well, they left Stewart to take her one-on-one here, and Hinsey does a nice job. And you see, I think it's going to be Smiley coming over on the reach-in. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yes, you're right. Smiley commits the foul, so that's her 4th. Free throw missed. Theisen rebounds. 43-40. Trojans open. Johnson. Schrader with the assist.
Boy, a missed assignment, Maple Grove. I think that was nothing more than just being confused on who had who. When there's substitutions coming in and out, sometimes you forget or you get a little miscue on who's got who, and they just forgot about Johnson.
Mlinar open, 3 is good.
Well, she makes Wayzata pay for going to his zone right there. It didn't take long for her to let that one fly.
15 for Mlinar in the game. Theisen up and in.
Boy, she's just relentless. They did a good job of cutting her off on her initial cut there as Tyler bodied her out of there, but she just kind of pivoted and went back and reposted.
Mlinar, same spot as a moment ago, missed this time and rebounded by Johnson. Amy Schrader front court, 4-point Trojans lead. We're midway through the second half. Lob in to Stewart, good knock away by Schulte.
Boy, that would have been a layup. Schulte timed that one just right. Coming from the baseline, hard to see her coming if you're Stewart there.
Off Mlinar's hands, out of bounds. Turnover Maple Grove. Theis back in. Or picked up the fouls, but they need her back in on both ends of the floor, really.
Well, and it's funny because late in the first half, we're talking so much about Wayzata's foul trouble, and then obviously it's coming back to bite Maple Grove a little bit too.
Schrader will take it to the basket and gets fouled by Schulte, and will go to the line for 2.
Schrader did a nice job turning the corner here, and you can see her attacking, and a hard collision right there as Schulte tried to do the right thing and get back and cut her off and not just ride her hip all the way down the lane, but got there just a little bit too late. And Schrader helped to create that too by driving the ball directly in a line at the hoops. A lot of times players, especially when they're younger, maybe not quite as sure of themselves, will kind of drift outward and make that an easier play for the defender to get back in. She was going to be aggressive. She probably knew she was going to get fouled, but still went at it hard.
Schrader averaged 9 points a game last year, has 8 points tonight. It's at a lead creeping up there, Jay. Now 6 points.
And back into that zone, trying to make things a little tougher for Maple Grove to get inside looks, and there's the steal.
Theis trying to snap a pass off to Lampker, and it got stolen. Or rather, trying to get it to Corman, but at the other end, Wayzata's Theisen unable to handle the ball down low. And it's right back to the Crimson.
Saw Corman there, the other freshman who will see significant time here this evening, along with Lampker.
Lampker, one dribble across to Mlinar. Theis, Corman open. Arcing shot too long and rebounded by Lydia Hay. Here comes Mimi Schrader. Off to Hay. Pull up 3. Too strong. Schrader went after the ball hard. Ripping it out there is Schulte. Ahead to Lampker. Nice dish off Mlinar for the layup.
Maple Grove needed that. They've had a drought, and they get a bucket there in transition, and with 3 or 4 different players touching the ball too, which I think was big for them as they ripped it away here. Nice job. Schulte just came in and said, "That's mine. I'm going to take it." And then Lampker, it looked a little bit awkward. I thought at first she was going to shoot that ball, and then just dropped it off at the last second to Mlinar.
This ball behind Johnson, and scramble in the backcourt for Theis intercepts it. Took it away from Johnson, too strong on the shot. Schulte fighting for it. Off a couple of hands, Mlinar finally secures it on the wing. Schulte dumping it down, Theisen scores it. Maple Grove will take timeout.
Good quick pass, and Katrina knew there was some size, some shot blockers around her, and got that ball up on the glass quickly. You see this pass right here, it was kind of hard to tell if it was going to be over and back or not, but Mlinar went hustling after it. Then the steal, and you see Theis missing that first one, but it was a scramble play all the way around. Balls tipped, passes knocked around. They stayed with it, and then a nice look inside by Schulte, and Theis quickly puts it up on the glass.
So 4 in a row here for Maple Grove was pulled in to within 2 points.
You can see how much that play fired them up too, as they started to really get back. And a lot of times that can feed off of when you get some hustle plays or some scramble plays or plays that you just worked hard for, and that's what Maple Grove got right there. And they showed in the first half that falling behind a little bit wasn't gonna bother them too much. You just keep coming and do the things that your team is good at, and you can close the gap. They've still got plenty of time here. They're obviously right back within 2.
Wayzata will have a day of practice, and then Saturday they play Lakeville North at 1:45 at the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic over at Hopkins High School. Maple Grove off until Tuesday. They will host Rogers for their first road game on Saturday the 9th at Buffalo. Wayzata still leading by 2 with the basketball. Under 7 minutes to play here in the second half. John Jacobson with Jay Wilcox. Our first girls basketball telecast of the season. Maple Grove 1-0, Wayzata 2-0 coming in. A lot of teams playing their season openers tonight around the area and around the state. Drive to the basket, kind of awkward there by Johnson. Couldn't get a good look in on Mlinar. Got the basketball, and now it's Lamker for the Crimson in the front court.
I like the fact that there was no call there either, because it was clearly Johnson that initiated that contact. Mlinar played solid defense. I thought actually Johnson might have traveled when she first started to make the move anyway.
Hinsey with it. Lamker one dribble, back to Hinsey. Good look, Schulte to Theis, and she's fouled to go to the line for 2.
Well, good decision to not force that ball the first time from the left wing, because there wasn't a great angle to get it, and then they worked it around, and we talked about how strong Katrina Theis is. She was able to get Kallie Theisen on her hip a little bit. Obviously she's not quite as tall as Kallie, but they're both very good and crafty around the block.
Theis 10 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. And this one would tie it up. Comes off, and the rebound to Stewart. Schrader with 6 minutes to play to Smiley. Jess Smiley's been quiet tonight, Jay. Just one basket.
A little foul issue. She really hasn't gotten many shots up or anything.
Now we'll launch one as we say that, but missed on the 3 and rebounded by Lamker. Crimson with a chance to take a lead. Mlinar missed, but Theis is there and scores.
Just quick off her feet to that ball.
Smiley missed underneath, but gets fouled by Mlinar and will shoot 2.
Another look here is she didn't have the inside position, but she just was able to work Tyson down low and then come up and get it. And you see showing the pipes. I can't believe there are a lot of players in the Northwest Suburban Conference or around the teams that we'll see that are any stronger than Katrina Theis.
Smiley missed on the free throw, and it stays 50-49. Theis's bucket has given her team the lead. Crimson with the basketball, 5:15 to go in the second half. Mlinar to Schulte. Theis back to Mlinar. Hinsey to Theis, couldn't finish. Stewart rebounds.
Good strong cut though, and good timing on that pass.
Stewart to Smiley. Tyson, she wants the basketball, and she'll go to the line for 2 as Theis picks up her 4th foul.
Well, turnabout's fair play there. She got her pin down deep at this end after Katrina had been able to do the same thing to Kallie Theisen at the other end. It's tough to get around a player who really knows how to use their body on that post up. When the ball swings side to side, all of a sudden you've got to try and get around the other direction, and a good aggressive move. Kallie Theisen. The other thing that you like about Kallie Theisen is she's able to use both hands pretty well. She can go, either side, pivoting with the right hand, with the left hand.
Becca Tyler back in as Theis comes out. Theisen makes the second free throw, and we're tied at 50.
Back to man-to-man, it looks like here now for Wayzata.
Lampker will start a drive. Mlinar open three. Not good, rebounded by Mimi Schrader. She'll push it up for the Trojans. Johnson. Out came to Stewart and to Smiley. Lob inside, a lot of traffic around Johnson, and a foul on Maple Grove. Crimson thought they had a clean steal and turning it back up the other way.
Really not a good idea on that pass. There were 4 different Maple Grove players that had a chance at this ball, and they get the foul on Tyler. A little bit of contact there. Obviously, Maple Grove didn't like it. It was close. I mean, it looked like they were going to have the steal all the way because it wasn't a particularly good pass. They had read it very well.
Wayzata's in the double bonus. Johnson here shooting 2. Theisen's in the lane Stewart.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious, and no complaint there because she definitely was. So missed opportunity there for Wayzata as we go down the stretch here. You know, sometimes it's not all about who makes the great plays, but who limits their mistakes down the end as well.
Wayzata's missed 7 free throws here in the second half. And we stay tied at 50 with 4 minutes to play. Lampker with the basketball in her hands. Give it off to Tyler. Now Schulte. Kinsey. Nice lob. The Mlinar traveled. Crimson turnover. Wayzata with another chance to take the lead. Under 3.5 to go. Mimi Schrader. Maple Grove's looking for a 5-second call there. Theisen gets herself free. Block. That was a tough call. I was wondering which way that was going to go, and they called the block on Schulte.
I thought that was pretty good defense here. Another look at it as she ripped that ball free. Yeah, she's still sliding a little bit. Those are tough calls. Very tough. Could have went either way.
Kallie Theisen connects. It's Wayzata back up by a point. We're getting a timeout here for Wayzata. Full timeout.
Mark Cook didn't like that last one either. And you see it again though at a different angle. It was, I thought for sure charged the first time. Seeing it again, I'm not quite as convinced. So obviously, a good play to take that ball to the hoop, and it was the right idea by Schulte to just stand in there and try and hold her ground. You see they almost had the steal right there. Theisen gets it back. See if she's still just making a little slide late there. Yeah, very close call. You can't let it, bother you long term though. They did what they should do defensively there. Didn't get that call, but then you have to just feel like, okay, well, the next time we'll get it. Right. How the coaches juggle the players with foul trouble down the stretch here is another big key. Do you go offense and then take them out for defense, or do you just kind of let it go and hope that they're able to stay out of harm's way? I do feel like there are times when coaches get a little overboard with worrying too much about if somebody's going to foul out. You might end up having them sit out for so long that what's the difference anyway, if you don't have them available one way or the other.
Theisen makes the second free throw. She has 17 points, all in the second half. Wayzata by 2, Maple Grove with the basketball. Just over 3 minutes to play now in the second half. There's been back and forth all night. Each team's had its runs, and so looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Turnover though for Maple Grove. Hand in on the ball on that pass, and the Trojans able to turn the Crimson over. Schrader Behind the back dribble, now gives it to Theisen. Johnson. Theisen looking into Stewart. Now Theisen will take it strong to the basket. Missed the shot, got her own rebound. Not good, gets it again off the glass and in.
You could see Maple Grove backing off a little bit, worried about fouls there, and she just kept with it, relentless. A lot of times as a shooter, you have a better idea where that ball's going to go off the glass than anybody else out there, and she stayed right with it.
A reach-in foul there on Stewart as Lamker started to drive.
Another look, it's a good aggressive move initially, just didn't quite get it, but she didn't assume she was going to make it. She just went back at it, and they actually blocked that second try, but Theisen did a nice job. You know, a lot of times when you go for that layup, you just kind of trail off and drift out of bounds and don't get in position for that rebound.
Lamker to the line for a 1-and-1. Hensey got a hand on it to deflect it out, but it came right to Schrader. So Crimson unable to cash in at the free throw line. And now a 4-point Wayzata lead and the basketball. And we've got 2 minutes to play.
Be interesting to see how aggressive they are with this lead and with this time, or if they're going to try and make Maple Grove foul them.
Schrader will hand off to Johnson. In some trouble, but finds Theisen. I'm going to pull it out, it looks like a little bit here, Jay, off to Schrader.
Nice to have somebody like Schrader to handle the ball on this spot, too. Yeah, she definitely was not looking to attack there. Oh, went for the steal and didn't get it.
Schulte Smiley open.
I thought she might pull the trigger there.
Instead, holds on to the ball, keeping with the game plan here. Just to work some clock down to 1:18 to go, and then Schulte commits the foul.
This is an interesting one. Schulte thinks she sees an opportunity for the steal here, goes for it, and guess again. That was just a nice little crossover by Schrader. Not a bad, when you're down on the spot, you can't blame Schulte for making, that's the time when you do need to make a little bit of a gamble at the ball like that.
That's the 5th foul on the sophomore, Schulte. And Mimi Schrader trying to cash in 2 free throws at the line for the junior. She now is 4 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. And in and out in the second, but it's a 3-possession game. It's going to be 2-possession game here with 1:10 to play. Crimson, some urgency now as Hensey gives it off to Mlinar. Moline to Theis. Lamker. She'll drive, but Theisen cuts her off. Back out to Theis. Mlinar missed, out of bounds, off Wayzata. 49 seconds left. Still a 5-point lead. Excuse me.
Maple Grove doesn't need a 3 here. If you get an open look at one, that's great, but doesn't have to be, certainly in this spot.
Nice drive by Mlinar. She gets fouled by Annika Stewart. 18 fouls, so it's still a 1-and-1 here for the Crimson.
Maple Grove was lights out at the line in the first half, and obviously they need to make some free throws down the stretch here.
Mlinar has been perfect so far tonight. She is 5 of 5 on free throws. 18 points in all. Second one also good.
That was big for them right there. You get points with the clock stopped, and you also give your defense a chance to set up what presumably will be some pressure coming up court here. So that went quite well for Maple Grove.
Crimson take a timeout. 46 seconds to go. Each team 2 timeouts remaining.
Sometimes it can be a little bit of a tough spot, I think, especially early in the season when you're the team that's sort of protecting this lead. This isn't maybe something you've worked on all that much yet as your delay game. Just your basic principles of spacing the court and making sure you're cutting hard and making sure you're sure with your passes. All of that stuff plays in, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to to switch off from being in attack mode to protecting the ball mode and killing clock mode. big thing you don't want to do if you're Wayzata right now is get bunched up and give them a chance to slap a double team on you. Sure, Maple Grove discussing a little bit too, you know, who do we foul if that situation presents itself. Maybe not quite yet at 46, but you do want to be conscious in there. You know, there hasn't been a lot of stats so far because we're so early in the season, but you still want to have an idea of who you'd like to put at the line given the choice. And it's probably not Schrader.
Schrader's got the basketball in the inbound from Theisen, and she's into the front court for the Trojans. Under 40 seconds to play. 3-point lead. So no hurry, no need to shoot. Now a foul out on the perimeter on Jenna Johnson. So they'll put the freshman at the line who had missed 2 free throws earlier here in the half.
And I think all things considered for Maple Grove, they don't mind this. You know, you kind of extend the game with more possessions. Johnson, though, making him pay.
Theis back in. Sam Carroll out for Maple Grove. Johnson, cold as ice, connects on 2, 5-point game with 30 seconds to go. Katrina Theis attacking, lost the ball. It's off Theisen, or they're going to call a foul. Yes. One referee, I think, was going to let it go and just call an out of bounds play, but the other one came over and called Theisen for the foul.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact on the arm there. That'll be the 4th on Kallie Theisen. The Theisen versus Theis matchup was a little slow starting, but it's lived up to billing eventually.
First free throw comes short for Theis, who has missed a couple here now in the second half, but overall has been very strong from the line tonight. Not the second one. She'll come out now. Carroll back in. Schrader, 25 seconds left.
That was too easy. Wayzata just coming up court with no problem whatsoever. For Maple Grove, I would think you would, you know, want to make things a little bit tougher than that.
Mlinar picks up a foul there on the perimeter, her 3rd. And Jazz Smiley to the line. She missed a couple free throws earlier this half. Connects here though. Second one for the junior, also good. So Wayzata hitting the free throws here in the final minute when it counts. 59-53. Maple Grove taking a lot of time here, down by 6. Theis taking it to the basket, missed it. Johnson rebounds, gets it to Schrader, and the Trojans are going to hang on and win. They rally here in the second half after trailing at halftime, and they get a 59-53 win over Maple Grove. 2 top 10 teams that I think are going to have excellent seasons. Maple Grove played strong second half of that first half, and early here in the second half started to build a little lead on the Trojans, but Wayzata kept with it, and boy, Kallie Theisen really attacking and was a big factor, especially in the offensive end of the court there in the second half. 19 points, got Katrina Theis into some foul trouble, forced her to the bench. And Theis had a good game as well, offensively and defensively, and a good game and handshakes between those veteran coaches, Mark Cook and Mike Schumacher, and good things ahead, I think, for both of these teams the rest of the way in this season. So Wayzata with the win, they go to 3-0 on the season. I mentioned that they've got a game coming up Saturday at the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic, so no rest for them at all. They take on number 3, Lakeville North. Maple Grove 1-1. They will take on Rogers on Tuesday. Jay Wilcox already securing a couple of the Trojans down on the court. We'll go to him in just a moment here, but certainly a big win for Wayzata in a non-conference game, and always good to beat a quality opponent, and Wayzata has done that tonight coming to Maple Grove, and they are now 3-0. So let's throw it down to Jay.
Certainly not an easy one for Wayzata tonight, but it's a good road win over Maple Grove as they take it by 6, and we're joined by a couple of the Trojans. Mimi Schrader, this was a tough basketball game for you guys. You came out, got a lead early, they came back on you. What was the difference down the stretch?
It's all about grit, making the smart plays at the end of the game. Stay composed and not make the crazy pass, make the smart pass to win the game.
You guys seem like coming out to start the second half, you sort of found your offense again. What did you guys talk about at halftime to lead to that?
Well, Sue in the locker room really talked about getting defense, and that was going to create our offense. So second half we came out just with more grit on defense to create some more better offensive plays for ourselves.
You guys got tested in that holiday tournament and then a good road test tonight. Are these the kind of games that'll make you better as the season goes along too?
For sure. We want to play our best at the end of the season, so it's good to get challenged now so we can get playing good at the end of the road.
Amy, thanks for joining us. Have fun the rest of the year. And Kallie Theisen, pretty tough first half for you, no doubt about it. But you came out just on fire in the second half. What changed for you, if anything?
Yeah, I just knew I needed to finish my shots so we could get it done and get to the free throw line. And we were able to make free throws and make big shots. So yeah, we got the win.
It's a big physical battle down there. A lot of good inside players on both teams. Do you like those kind of games where it's back and forth like that, posting up hard?
Yeah, definitely. It's super fun. It's like the early games is going to make us better, like Mimi said, for the end of the season. So we like to have hard competition like that.
Well, you and Mimi have been through a lot of the wars, and some of the players new to varsity, though. Do you think this is a game where you could see some progress from somebody's, players that hadn't been playing a lot prior to this year, too?
Yeah, definitely. We had just hard physical game, which we did have before, but it just is another step, and I think that they really played great. So, yeah, they did a good job.
Good luck the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Kallie Theisen with a big, strong second half for Wayzata to help them pull out this win by 6 here on the road at Maple Grove. Let's go back to John now for some final thoughts.
All right, Jay, thanks very much. And, nice win for Wayzata, showing some determination, a little grit there down the stretch when things weren't going their way early in the second half and at halftime, and come back with a nice win over a quality Maple Grove team. That will do it for our telecast tonight. A reminder, Friday night, more live girls basketball for you as Armstrong hosts Simile. That's at 7 o'clock Friday here on CCX. For Jay Wilcox and all of our great crew tonight, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Our final score again from Maple Grove High School. Wayzata 59, Maple Grove 53.